Mantras of our Divine Mother. Our Divine Mother says, keep your aspiration ardent and sincere, and never forget that you are the child of the Divine. It will prevent you from doing anything unworthy. With always our blessings, says our Divine Mother. Words of our Divine Mother, taken from the collective works of our Divine Mother, Volume 13, page 76, topic to be near me. Our Divine Mother says, in order to be always near me, really and effectively, you must become more and more sincere, open and frank towards me. Cast all disillusion and decide to do nothing that you couldn't tell me immediately. Do only what you could do before me without feeling embarrassed. Say only what you could repeat to me without difficulty. Be very sincere and straightforward. Harbor nothing within yourself which you cannot show me without fear. Do nothing which you would be ashamed of before me. Try to be spontaneous and simple like a child in your relations with me. It will save you from many difficulties. Our Divine Mother says, be simple, be happy, remain quiet, do your work as well as you can, keep yourself always open towards me. This is all that is asked from you, says our Divine Mother. Next subtopic, physical nearness. Our Divine Mother says, whether I see you or not makes no difference to the help. It is always there. You must remove two falsehoods from your mind. What you get from me has nothing to do with what others have or have not. My relation with you depends on you alone. I give you according to your true need and capacity. Even here, already you were alone with me, if there were no others who would receive nothing more. Second, it is a great mistake to think that physical nearness is the only thing indispensable for the progress. It will do nothing for you if you do not establish the inner contact. For without that, you could remain from morning to night with me, and yet you will never truly meet me. It is only by the inner opening and contact that you can realize my presence, says our Divine Mother. Our Divine Mother says you ought not to forget that each one meets in life the exact expression of what he himself is. Grace and blessings are always with you. Not one day have I stopped taking the usual care of those who depend on my force. Do the work. My inspiration, guidance will always be with you, and when it is necessary, I will see you physically. But I am working to lessen more and more of this necessity, because to be able to receive the inner guidance is indispensable for the perfection of the work. Now that you are here, the only thing to do is to forget the past, concentrate on your work here. It is true that for the moment I cannot see you regularly, but you must learn to get the inner contact. Then you will know that I am always with you, to guide you, to help you, that you can have no better conditions than here to do properly your sadhana. It would be more correct to say that certain thoughts, certain feelings, actions take people away from me or create a separation between someone and me in spite of all physical proximity. There is no real separation from me. If the consciousness takes a wrong attitude, it puts itself into a state in which it has the sensation or feeling of separation. Our Divine Mother says, I am no more living an active life. If you're open, the help is bound to come, says our Divine Mother. Next subtopic, role as a guide. Our Divine Mother says, if you are quite sincere, you will agree with me that you are complaining of being not too divine but not divine enough. For if in my physical body I had assumed, for instance, the appearance cherished by the ancient Indian tradition, how convenient it would be. Imagine if having several heads and great number of arms possessing the power of ubiquity, when you come to manicure my hands and so unceremoniously knocks at the door to inform me that she is there. I could send her a pair of hands for her work and still be in my small room to answer to another person sitting with me here. How nice it would be, you see. I fear I have accepted to become too human, too much bound by the human laws of time and space, and thus not capable of having or doing half a dozen things at the same time. Our Divine Mother says, Lord, I lament my limitations, but it is through them, by virtue of them, that men can approach Thee. Without them, Thou wouldst be as remote as and inaccessible to man, as if Thou hadst not put on a body of flesh. That is why progress, each progress that they make, represents a true liberation for me. For each step they take towards Thee gives me the right to cast away one of these limitations and to manifest Thee more truly, more perfectly. And yet, these limitations could have been dispensed with, but then it would have been necessary to keep near us only those who have experienced the divine, who have identified themselves with Thee, Lord, even if only once, either within themselves or in the universe. For this identification is an indispensable basis of our integral yoga. It is its starting point. Our Divine Mother says it is their own mental and vital formation of me that they love, not myself. More and more I am confronted with this fact. Each one has made his own image of me for himself in conformity with his needs and desires, and it is with this image that he is in relation. Through that he receives the little amount of universal forces, the still smaller amount of supramental forces that manage to filter through all these formations. Unfortunately, says our Divine Mother, they cling to my physical presence. Otherwise, I could withdraw into my inner solitude and do my work quietly and freely from there. But this physical presence is a symbol for them. That is why they cling to it. For in fact, they have very little real contact with what my body truly is, or with the tremendous accumulation of conscious energy that it represents. And now, oh higher force, that you are descending into me and penetrating more and more totally all the elements and atoms of my body, the distance between myself and everything around me seems to be more increasing more and more. I feel myself floating in an atmosphere of radiant consciousness that is totally beyond their understanding. Since I love you, O Lord, it is you alone whom I love in each and every one, and by dint of loving you in them, I shall end up by making them a little conscious of you. For them, the real thing is to know how to let themselves be loved without any preference, any obstruction. But not only do they want to be loved except in their own way, they do not want even to open themselves to love unless it comes to them through the intermediary of their choice. And what could be done in a few hours, a few months, a few years, takes centuries to be accomplished. Our Divine Mother says, after establishing a conscious contact with each person present, after establishing a conscious contact with each person present, I merge with the Supreme Lord, then my body is nothing but a channel through which He pours out upon all His light, His consciousness, His joy, to each one according to his capacity. I take the greatest care to open the door within all of you. Our Divine Mother says, I take the greatest care to open the door within all of you so that if you have just a small moment of concentration within you, if you have just a small moment of concentration within you, you do not have to wait for long periods in front of a closed door that will not move, to which you have no key and which you do not know how to open. Our Divine Mother says the door is open, only you must look in that direction. You must not turn your back on it. Our Divine Mother says, I am not eager to be the guru of anyone. It is more spontaneously natural for me to feel the mother of all and to carry them forward silently through the power of love. I am not eager to be the guru of anyone. But to put the question, I shall answer. But as you put the question, I shall answer. From the time you started using a mantra, I had put in it a power to make it more effective. Now that you have stated what is the word of this mantra, I am confirming the power in it, says our Divine Mother. Question, sweet mother, how do you conceive of my relation with you? For this, our Divine Mother says, until now, my spontaneous attitude was that of the Supreme Mother who carries the universe in her loving arms, and I was dealing with each one as with a child from whom she tolerates everything equally, and all that the people here were doing to please me, I was taking as a token of their love, and I was very grateful for it. Today, I have learned that many, if not most, are looking at me as their guru, and they are eager to please me because to please the guru is the best way to acquire merit on the path. And then I have understood that the duty of the guru is to encourage from each one only that which can lead them quickly to the Lord and serve His divine purpose. And I am very grateful for the lesson. Everyone has to follow his own path, which necessarily is the best and the swiftest for reaching the goal. As I happen to know the way, it is my duty to show it to them. When I say that I have initiated someone, I mean that I have revealed myself to this person without words, and that he was capable of seeing, feeling, knowing what I am, says our Divine Mother. Next subtopic, do as you like. Question, sweet mother, I want only what you think the best. For this, our Divine Mother says, when people suggest two alternative things and ask me which one to do, I answer, as you like. which neither is better than the other. If you want, obviously, implies that there is a risk that the consequences of what you want to do may not be very good for your sadhana, but also that perhaps you are not ready to make the necessary progress which would enable you not to do what you wish to do. Our Divine Mother says, it seems that you are far too complex and complicated to understand my straight, direct simplicity. When I say this is the best, I mean that that is the best, and consequently, that is the thing to be done. What I call surrender is not to make a counter proposal in answer to my arrangement, but to accept it full heartedly. You ask for peace as if I was withdrawing it, but when I wrote to you with the best feelings of kindness, trust, and consideration, this is the best thing to do. If you had answered at once, yes, mother, let it be done, you would have certainly felt a greater peace in you, even a greater joy.
Aspire to be thy valiant warriors, so that thy glory may manifest upon the earth. Give us the strength to reject falsehood and emerge in thy truth, pure and worthy of thy victory. Seigneur, nous aspirons à être des vaillants guerriers, afin que ta gloire soit manifestée sur la terre. Donne-nous la force de rejeter le mensonge et de surgir dans ta vérité, pure et digne de ta victoire.
चक्षुर्नलिप्यते चाक्षुषैर्बाह्यदोषैः एकस्तथा सर्वभूतान्तरात्मा न लिप्यते लोकदुःखेन बाह्या नित्यो अनित्यानां चेतनानाम् एको वहूनां यो विदधाति कामान् तमात्मस्थं ये अनुपश्यन्ति धीरास्तेषां शान्तिः शाश्वती नेतरेषाम्।
नमस्तेस्तु महामाये श्रीपीठे सुरपूजिते शङ्खचक्रगदाहस्ते महालक्ष्मीर्नमोऽस्तुते नमस्ते गरुडारूढे कोलासुरभयङ्करे सर्वपापहरे देवी महालक्ष्मीर्नमोऽस्तुते स्थूलसूक्ष्म महारौद्रे महाशक्ते महोदये महापापहरे देवी पद्मासनस्थिते देवी परब्रह्मस्वरूपिणी परमेशी जगन्माता महालक्ष्मीर्नमोऽस्तुते सर्वदुःखहरे देवी महालक्ष्मीर्नमोऽस्तुते जगत्स्थिते जगन्माता महामेरा नमोऽस्तुते सर्वसिद्धिप्रदायिने महामेरा नमोऽस्तुते
हे गन्धपुष्पे ओमेकस्मै देवाय ॐ श्रीमीरायै नमः ॐ श्रीमीरायै नमः ॐ श्रीमीरायै नमः
इदमर्घम् ॐ नमः अरविन्दाय